everybody, and welcome to Connect to Success with me, Ashley Owens, on your lunch break, 12:30 on Thursdays on RVN TV. That was a mouthful. I've had way too much coffee. Welcome, everybody, to the show today. I have the pleasure and the absolute privilege to interview Mr. Keith Baldwin. Mr. Keith Baldwin.
I don't know how much of a privilege that is.
It kind of really is, because I posted something this morning on LinkedIn, actually, and about 4 people messaged me. They're like, he's the best guy ever. I'm like, I know. And this
It's the only 4 people I know.
Well, that's true. How many? And this is your first time on the show,
Yes.
right? I got him, guys. I got him. Nobody else can have him on the show. I got Keith. Really, I need a trophy just for that. So Keith, I have you on the show because you are the epitome of a power connector. And I know I say like something to the effect of that with a lot of people. However, you and about 5 people that I can count on my head that I see as a power connector. And that is a high-level version of saying you know how to build relationships in a way that even I can learn from. So I'm a very big stickler when it comes to high-level BS that a lot of people talk about, like build relationships. How do you do that? What does that actually mean? And so your tacticality and practicalness in doing that is not only inspiring, but I've learned a lot just from sitting with you for a half an hour to an hour on different things. But we only talk business. So today is the day where I actually get to learn about if you've got kids, where do you live, what's your favorite color, Christmas is coming down the pipe where you get going gifts, whatever it may be.
Okay.
I'd love to learn more about that. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Northeast Philadelphia.
Okay.
I graduated from Archbishop Bryan High School.
Oh, Catholic?
Yes.
Christian? Is it one of those?
Then I went to Temple
Okay.
University.
What'd you study?
Business. I was putting myself through Temple when I dropped out and went to Spikes when I was 18 years old.
No kidding. So you never finished?
Never finished.
Never finished college or high school?
College.
College. Okay. But did you play sports in high school?
No, because I was working.
No kidding.
I started, I've only really had one job. I started when I was 14 years old. It's a defunct sporting goods company, the Gold Medal Sporting Goods at the time.
Okay.
I started in their first store as a tennis racket stringer and a skate sharpener.
Okay, so wait, a tennis racket stringer. So anytime the tennis rackets would get a hole in them, you would tie them together?
Well,
I don't know.
If the strings break,
Yeah.
you have to have them restrung.
Okay.
So I'd sit there and weave and string a tennis racket.
No kidding.
And skate sharpening, you would sharpen the skates.
Wow.
And it was their original store. They had gotten up to, at the time they went out, 21 stores locally.
Okay.
And they had and I was putting myself through Temple. I'd worked my way up, and I was in their retail operation as an assistant manager of one of their stores.
Right.
When they bought this distressed trophy company, Spikes, and they needed somebody to run it. And I was let's just say, a less than a stellar student. I was probably playing more basketball in Pearson Hall at the time than I was studying. So I raised my hand and said, I'll do it. I dropped out of Temple and went there.
Wow.
And it was a good thing I was young and dumb and didn't know any different.
Yeah, that's the best kind.
Because I probably should have failed. The company was left for dead. The person that ran it before had run it into the ground.
Okay.
And had taken the inventory, and it was quite a story. Needless to say that I'd have people walking in to pick up awards, and I didn't know anything about the awards business. I was just a young kid at 19. And I didn't have inventory. I didn't have the orders because they were all taken. And I had to deliver 400 trophies the next day.
Jesus.
And he sold them under the cost. So I had to show my costs and beg to make 10 or 20% and putting them together. And I'd live there through the night and put them together. And so I learned a lot through that process.
Yeah, kind of baptism by fire.
Kind of school of hard knocks. That's where I graduated from.
Yeah.
And I just worked there 24/7, learning the business
Yeah.
through osmosis.
So when you were in those positions, when you had a chance to kind of see if you would sink or swim, what drove you to keep...
Ignorance.
I was jamming.
I'm not the smartest guy you will ever meet.
Well, I think that in general is the experience that you have. I mean, you swam.
Yes.
And
Luckily.
that's perseverance. Are you Irish? You're Irish Catholic,
Nope.
right? What are you?
Half Italian.
No kidding. All right, so then we're stubborn too. Perfect. So you're always going to hustle. And the reason why I said that is because there's a gentleman in my life that reminds me a lot of you, and it was never, I can't do it. It was always, I can do it. Let me figure it out. And I feel like that's the kind of ambition that you have, even as a young kid. I mean, my first job I had, I was working in a sports group where I was a batting cage, and I loved it. But I worked my tail off because I enjoyed doing it. I wasn't in a managerial position, but I can understand the need to succeed because there's no other option, right?
I didn't want to let the customer down.
Yeah, and that from the get-go was always your main priority.
Yes.
Okay. So how has that transitioned now, that experience transitioned now into the kind of businessman that you are today? Sorry, I didn't mean to get too deep at 12:40 on a Thursday.
Just to take care of the customer and care.
Yeah.
I guess that's the root of it.
So now, what's your family life like?
I've got 2 kids.
How old?
My daughter is 27. She is a 5th, 6th grade teacher.
No kidding.
In Mount Laurel. My son is still going to Rowan.
Wow.
Working as an intern for an accounting firm.
Wow.
He also has his real estate license in Pennsylvania and Jersey.
Good for him.
So somewhere along the line, he's going to marry those, hopefully, and work that out.
Yeah, somebody who can sell a house and run the numbers. That's
Yes.
very helpful.
And my wife, I've been married for 31 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
I met her in New York City.
Is she as crazy as you when it comes to doing businesses?
No, she is a rep for Carter's infant wear.
Yeah.
And the reason she doesn't work for me is because she wants to stay married to me,
Oh,
she
good.
said.
That's a good life choice.
Yeah.
I agree with that. My husband and I thought about it for maybe like 30 seconds, and then we're like, no, it's not going to be a good day for anybody. Well, that's the best part, like opposites attract in that way. So, okay, so you had this background starting out working in this sports shop. I know you had learned a lot of lessons. What did you take from that was the most significant? Because again, you were in a position that was completely not set up to succeed. And the customer care, yes, but that comes with being a good person, I think. That's having a good foundation. But
Hard work.
okay.
I read a long time ago In Search of Excellence.
Okay.
And in that book, there was things, and I remember in there, one of the keys was networking. And I had never, I didn't even know what networking was.
Yeah.
I probably still didn't for a number of years.
Yeah.
But it was always in the back of my brain to get involved.
Right.
And I was always a shy kid.
Yeah.
Tremendously shy. I took a Dale Carnegie course to try to get me out of my shell. It's still painful today.
Yeah.
But because of the business I'm in, I've had to overcome that.
So that shyness, though, I think a lot of people can relate who are in business. But I mean, I know I can definitely relate. I had a stutter. Like I would be so nervous to speak up in class that the only.
No.
Swear to God.
Get out of here.
I'm telling you.
No way.
Serious as a heart attack. My confidence level was null and void in high school.
So how did you get over that?
I took an improv class because I was tired of being picked on.
Yep.
I was tired of not having a voice, and so I learned how to have it socially acceptable to be able to cry in class. So like there was a lot, like my grandparents had passed away, so I was going through a lot of emotional turmoil in that way, and I used that class to be able to effectively communicate what I was feeling without having to not say anything. Because I'm Irish Catholic, so I'll stroke out before I tell anybody my feelings, right? So the option was to take a class, but tell me more about this class you were taking. So Dale Carnegie?
Dale Carnegie course.
Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Can you explain
How
that?
to win friends and influence people.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
And there
Yes.
is a public speaking component to it.
Yeah.
So each week you would go there and you'd have to get up in front of the class.
Right.
And I thought I would die. And I probably did die. Talk about stuttering,
Yeah.
just tremendously uncomfortable. And the one thing I guess I learned is just practice.
Yeah.
And just experience and just keep doing it until you start not I can't say that I ever feel comfortable.
But you're comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just do it.
That's awesome. So how, obviously your love for, I mean, you've had this position and were part of this family, the Spikes Trophies family, since it started.
Well, Gold Medal Sporting Goods bought Spikes, and I went there to run it for them.
Yep.
And when I was 19, I wrote a goal that I wanted to own it with my friends. It took me 25 years.
And now you own it with your friends? Holy cow.
I worked for 2 absentee owners over that
Okay.
time frame in building it. And then I just begged the owner at the time, please sell it to me. And I bugged him enough, and me and 4 other long-term employees purchased it about, I guess it's 15 years ago now.
Wow, you were telling me about that. So what was it like to have to sign that off and to have that dream come true for you?
What, to be in debt and broke?
But happy.
Motivating?
Yeah. just like dying, but like I'm so happy
What did
I
I
own
do?
this. Yeah.
You just make it work. And it's always been a passion,
Yeah.
a labor of love.
Have you ever worked in a position where you didn't find the drive to love it? I feel like, again.
Well, since I've only had one job, I guess I don't have that experience to tell you otherwise.
Right. And so do you think that either harms or hurts your business practicality?
Not having a diversity of experience, I think sometimes hurts. And maybe that is why I seek the networking opportunities or the relationships.
Right.
I belong to a number of groups where we share best practices, and I've learned a lot.
Wow.
A ton.
Do you ever feel like not going to college ever hindered you in any way?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always felt self-conscious in a room of business owners that I was not smart enough. I just completed the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program.
Yep, I saw that. Congratulations.
So that helped me, I guess, a little bit in the confidence. And I guess over time through osmosis in running a business and growing with a business, you learn.
Yeah.
I guess I learned through that program that I've learned a lot over the years.
Yeah. And that experience is sometimes even more valuable than getting a college education. Not saying that it's not valuable, but you've been...
But there's times where I know that there was holes in my knowledge that school probably would have plugged.
Yeah.
That I had to go plug later in the game.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, but no, I would love to give you more credit and celebrate you more, because what you've been able to accomplish is inspiring and wonderful. But on that note, when we come back, we're going to talk to Keith about his practical tips, tactical takeaways, and why Spikes Trophies is the only place for you to get your trophies and other sports memorabilia.
Hi, my name's Casey Price, host of a brand new show called Everyday Elder Care. My show will help you take the stress out of caring for your elderly loved one by educating you about options and solutions you may not even know exist. Tune in every Tuesday at noon on RVN TV. We'll see you there.
Imagine the finest hand-selected USDA prime steak you'll ever have. The freshest line-caught seafood, our Wine Spectator award-winning wine list, and soul-satisfying desserts. Bring that together with the perfect date, the winning business deal, a memorable family celebration. Welcome to Rod's Steak and Seafood Grill in nearby Morristown, New Jersey. Bring your appetite and feed your passion.
Love my style and I'm dancing tonight. My smile from pearly white side. Love myself, love my style, pearly white. Love your smiles, from teens to grown-ups braces. They can change your life. All ages and all faces. Your smile from pearly white. Love yourself, love your style, pearly white. Love your smile.
For independent living for seniors age 62 and over, People Inc. offers safe, maintenance-free apartments across Western New York. The affordable rent is income-based. For more information, call People Inc. Senior Living at 817-9090.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia.
And welcome back to Connect to Success with Ashley Owens on RVN TV during your lunch break, where we talk to power networkers in the Philadelphia and South Jersey area. And I have, again, the pleasure to be talking to Keith Baldwin. Now, Keith, I am thrilled that you're here today because you are a power connector, but you're also super humble, which makes you just more wonderful. So, and the reason why I'm rolling my eyes is because you're kind of awesome. And I am so excited that you're here. So, Spikes Trophies, can you please tell the audience exactly what you do, who you are, and why you guys are the best?
Spikes has been around for 85 years. Although I look like it, I did not start it.
Sorry.
We've got 3 locations in the area, one on the main line, one in Northeast Philadelphia, which is our headquarters, and one in Center City, Philadelphia at One Penn Center. We manufacture awards and signage, specifically interior signage, and also distribute promotional products. That is anything with a logo.
So you have, we were talking about this a while ago, but you have in your warehouse, you give tours, right?
Yes.
Okay, explain that.
So in trying to help the community, one of our customers, which was the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame, lost their lease. And we had some extra space in our new building, and we offered them rent-free the ability to go show their space. So we have a preview gallery of the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame within our building. We also, on our building, we have a few murals from the City of Philadelphia Mural Arts Program. Great program. They're great people. On one side of the building, we have the City of Champions mural, and it was filled up because of the way it was constructed. And when the Eagles won, we had to figure out what we were going to do. So we started another mural on the other side of the building, and we've got a Super Bowl mural on that side of the building with room to expand for additional championships.
And I'm sure you have pictures of that too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you've got pictures of those. That's awesome.
And just trying to marry the Philadelphia sports and the community and winning, celebrating success.
When the Eagles won, though, I remember you and I had a meeting the day after the Eagles had won the Super Bowl. So explain what that night was like, if you don't mind, because it's awesome. I don't even know why you kept the meeting with me, but I was very happy.
We went out and purchased a lot, and I still have lots of Philadelphia Inquirers, and what we did was laminate the front page, and we sell commemorative plaques. We also have replicas of the Super Bowl trophy that we sell. And that night was coordinating the purchasing of those papers so that we can go get them started and manufactured in order to get them up and start distributing them.
Gosh, I came into that office and I think it was just a buzz. I was talking to the wonderful ladies in the front desk, and they were very apologetic, and they said, well, he's been up since this. I'm like, well, what? Because I'm an idiot. Like, I watched the game and I'm like, oh, that's great. Everyone's having a good time. My husband was on Broad Street, and he came home shuffling home. I'm like, you're right. He goes, no, this is a good day. And the next morning, I walked in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I just remember just in awe because you came down. And what I really appreciated with you, Keith, is that like there's not much besides introductions that I can do for you, and you still kept the meeting, and you just wanted to chat with me about a couple things, and I had some questions for you about different lucrative, networking groups in the area. It was more of an educational thing for me to have an understanding of.
Well, if
and
you remember when we met,
Yeah.
when I heard what you were doing, I thought I could help you.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to help you.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to cancel it.
Yeah.
So that was the reason.
I so appreciate that. So let's go more into that relationship building, because now you're here on the show, and I'm so glad you're here. And you were very much well known in the networking and relationship building area. So give me some idea of some of the groups that you're a part of and why they're important.
Should I name them?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Please do. Yeah.
Well, Philadelphia Business Executives is where I met you at.
Yeah, that's right.
I belong to Business Clubs of America, which is BCA, a very prestigious group and a great group. I belong to a CEO group out of DVIRC. That's the Delaware Valley Industrial Resource Center, and it's a group of local manufacturers where we share best practices to try to help each other. I know I'm forgetting groups. The Philly Man, Jersey Man.
Oh yeah, are you going to the Legacy event coming up?
Yes.
The Unmasking the Legacy. It's like a couple weeks now.
Yeah,
I should be getting paid, Ken Dunnick. I've invited so many people. I'm not a member, but I'm going.
But I have a conflicting event that night. I'm on the Small Business Chamber board,
Okay.
and their Excellence Awards are that night also
got it.
at the same time. So
Okay.
sometimes it's tough juggling the events. There's so many events.
You gotta take off the next day when you go to this kind of event too. It's one of those days where you're networking, but you're really having a great time with the people throughout the year. So it's a good time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else. So you're with BCA, with all of those groups. You are a very busy individual. You're running this company. You've built it from the ground up. You are the decision maker of this enterprise, this organization that you have. Why do you not hire somebody else to do what it is that you do on the building and relationships and growth position that you're putting yourself in?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I told you before I'm not the smartest person you'll ever meet.
I know, but still. I may have an idea, but go ahead. I want to hear yours first.
I guess just to be authentic. On my business card it says Chief Relationship Officer, and I see my role as in charge of relationships with my employees, my people, my vendors and suppliers, and then the customers, prospects. So that's my role, and I try to balance those. Now, when I had kids playing high school sports, I wasn't able to really participate as much.
Yeah.
My golf group never saw me. So that when they retired from their sports, my time freed up.
Right.
I wasn't on a ball field at every night of the week or away for a tournament on weekends. So I filled that time with some of the networking opportunities. So I was able to get to events.
Do you think that your voice is uniquely your own, that giving away that power to somebody else to effectively represent Spikes, because you are in such a unique position where you are this organization. You were there from the day it started.
I quite honestly, I would like to have some other people out there doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
It takes time, and it takes a commitment, and so.
Yeah, but there's no other Keith, so I can't see anybody else.
No, you're always replaceable. You're always replaceable.
Okay, well you're too humble, so I'm going to stop that now, because it's wonderful. It's really wonderful, the kind of personality that you have and the care that you give. So going into that area, with networking, you have built your entire business off of this relationship, and meaning you have built a prominent part of your business through relationship building. Am I incorrect in that statement?
Well, think about my business. It's a community business.
Yeah.
The people that are customers, from the local rec leagues, the people that are involved, the nonprofits, corporations. That is our business. My job is to know people.
Yeah.
And just to let them know what we do, not to sell them.
Yeah.
It's not a hard sell. Just to educate them, and if I can help them, great. So it's I don't see it as, and I just lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, I think we kind of wrapped it up. We can kind of wrap it up with like the top 3 things networking wise that you find to be the most important. So we'll wrap it up with that.
Care.
Okay.
I love helping people. That's why it's so easy for me.
Yeah.
So if I can help you and connect you, if I know somebody, and if I learn about you, what you're trying to do, and then I can connect somebody else and create a win-win situation.
Okay, so care.
You're winning, and this other person's winning
Yeah.
by connecting. That's
Your
what
day's
I
good.
try to do.
Brilliant. And the last one?
Don't sell. Just be natural,
Yeah.
authentic. I guess that would be my tip.
Perfect. Now, Keith, how can people find you?
My website is www.gospikes.com, and you can reach me through that. Our 800, our number is 215-574-8100. My direct extension is 133 if you want to talk to me.
Perfect. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today on Connect to Success. Keith, you're awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
You're
and
awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll take all the attention every day, but thank you so much. And if you had a chance to talk to Keith, please make sure you take a look at the link that we're going to share this video with, and you'll get a chance to chat with Keith for all of your business, trophy, and sports memorabilia needs. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week, and stay connected.
Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.